run colleges and universities are trying to force vaccinations on students. But my next guest is fighting back. After Yale University informed Kendall Cody that she could not return to campus if she did not get the vaccine, she reached out to We the Patriots USA. Not only did that group help Kendall get a religious exemption, but they also helped her convince Yale to change its policy that restricted who could qualify for one. Joining me now is Kendall Cody, a nursing student at Yale University, and Cameron Atkinson, Kendall and Cody's attorney. Kendall, you've achieved more than changing Yale's policy. You have showed students across the country that they can actually fight back against these vaccine mandates. How did you do it?
Hi, Judge. Thank you for having me on today. It ended up being a ripple effect because they had a contract that they wanted me to sign, and I refused to sign it until I was guaranteed an out of not getting vaccinated. And because I would not sign that contract, they deactivated my badge on June 14th, so everything needed to be expedited before fall semester because I'm running through the summer semester in this program. And that's when We the Patriots USA.org connected me with Cam and Norm to have representation to get Yale to back off their discriminatory policy.
How did you do it?
All I did was call them and ask why they had a discriminatory policy against health science students, meaning that every student at Yale University, whether it be on the undergrad or graduate level, qualifies for the religious exemption, except for the medical school, nursing, and PA students. So they panicked then and went into an emergency board meeting to discuss it.
Okay, and when they told you that you could come back, you realized that this is an opportunity for other students similarly situated. And I mean, have you discussed this with them? How about other universities, other schools? This would be across the board? Well, maybe I can ask your attorney that, Cameron Atkinson. Would this be across the board, Cameron?
Not necessarily, but it sets an important precedent. So where we're seeing these religious exemption cases for vaccines falls into one or two categories. One, it could be against a private university, such as Kendall's case here, in which case we have to look to public accommodations.
Right. You have to make a public connection, right.
Right. So, or the other context we're seeing it pop up is in terms of public universities, in which case, in terms of a religious exemption, it's a straight up First Amendment case.
All right. Let me ask you this, Kendall. How is this a religious exemption?
They told me when I asked them why they deactivated my badge, they said, go ahead and fill out an exemption, and once you get approved, we will reactivate it. But that did not guarantee me being approved, as it had to be Yale Health.
What are the religious grounds that you can get an exemption?
The religious grounds are on the use of aborted fetal cells in testing and manufacturing of the vaccines.
So you're saying they use aborted fetal cells in testing and in creating the vaccine?
In particular, stem cell research.
And not like placenta stem cells. You're talking about aborted fetus stem cells. So there's a religious argument, right, Cameron?
Most certainly.
Pretty much.
And what we found out in this process is Yale and most of the rest of academia talk a very good game about tolerance and diversity when it comes to putting themselves out there for public consumption.
But not when it comes to religion. Not when it comes to religion.
No, not at all.
All right. And I don't mean to be short with you, but we're coming up against a hard break. And Kendall, just finally, you have learned a huge lesson from this, and I think you've set a standard for the country. So congratulations to you. And Kendall and Cameron, thank you both very much.